Yo, this is Skip Opotamus, Skip at School. Today we're going to try a little bit of problem solving. Have you ever had a problem? Looking for a solution? Wishing you could solve your problem. Okay, now the subject matter of the problem, we're going to just set that fully to the side for this conversation, for this episode, for this gleaning of goodness. Okay, so write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. You need a pen and paper and write it down. My problem is write it down. I don't know what the deal is. It's got to be, it's borderline magic. You write down what your problem actually is. In the process of clearly defining it to one sentence, my problem is money. My problem is traffic. My problem is wages. My problem is time. My problem is marriage. My problem is kids. My problem is the job. My problem is stress management. My problem is whatever. Okay? As soon as you see that, you've been honest with yourself. Everybody says admitting the problem's the first step to getting over it. You know, you can 12-step this thing the whole 9 yards, right? So you can Texas 2-step, dance around it. Or you can 12-step your way through it at the, crying match, at your local crying match, where everybody gets together and cries about the problems. For some reason, not allowed to tell each other how to fix it. Not sure on that deal. It's helped a lot. Good for them. Not my thing. I want solutions. Okay. So I have a problem. I have written it down. What do we do now, Skip? Glad you asked. At this point, I will be like, what are my options? So I will write down every possible option, no matter how real, imagined. You know what I mean? And Jesus, take the wheel, or, ignore it until it goes away. You know what I mean? And then practical stuff. I could do this to increase that, which will result in this, potentially, which that's generally the way I go. But apply your critical thinking skills to your options. And then here again, be honest, write it down, write it down, write it down. Okay, now if you're married, or you have a business problem, or you're a kid, and you have parents, regardless if you're, 10 or 40, if you're living in the basement, take this list now and go to your mentor, your parent, your spouse, whatever, and show them. In that moment, they're going to be like, well, what is this? And you say, here's my problem, here's my options of solution. So, what do you think? Have I missed any options? That's where you want, like, kind of like a proofreader type of deal. You want that knowledge from, sorry, the traffic's distracting. You want that knowledge that comes from a trusted advisor for your options. Like, it's good for them to know that you have said problem, and it's also good to know what they think about it, right? So, if they're going to be emotional and stuff like that, depending on what the problem is, take that into consideration. But what you're looking for here is you're not alone in your problem, number one. Number two, someone else is looking at your options. Okay? The someone else looking at your options, providing additional options, is great. If there's some kind of subject matter expert, even better. If there's multiple subject matter experts that can give you other options and discuss potential solutions and stuff like that, great. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Okay? Now, you're all the way to step 3. Now, you're going to look at it. Why? What are you doing, God? If you're going to get over, get over. So now, why is it? The people in front of me are obviously lost and scared of wandering into Mexico. So, that's a second line. I'm about to do the same thing they did. Okay. So now you're at the 3rd step. Sit down and look at it. Sit down and look at it. Okay, up to this point, you have not made a decision. Think about the things that have been said to you, this, that, and the other, whatever. You're probably narrowed down some options that were just, not really options. You got rid of the crazy or whatever. And there's something in that process where you're like, well, I'm here and I need to be there. Perhaps I could ride a magic carpet. And obviously not, but I got a kick out of it. It's helped with the stress by having these extreme options that you're like, well, I'm having a problem with my spouse, but, I can't kill her. It's an option, but, I feel like killing my kids, but I can't do that. It's not really an option. In a joking manner amongst yourself to bring humor into the situation, right? So you can overcome these various emotional drags on your ability to operate. I think this thing is taking me through a neighborhood that I am not supposed to drive a semi-truck through. And this guy is pulling out in the way. That also is not good. Okay, we did not run over the vehicle. That's always a plus. Anyway, maybe your problem is you're making a video while you're talking and driving through a town. That might be a problem. You might find yourself in certain bouts of stress and think to yourself, how can I catch my thoughts on video and still operate my job? How can I multitask this thing in a safe and timely manner? Yeah. Okay, so the issue that I'm having with problem solving is I'm probably not doing what I already know I should do. Like, that's generally most people's problem. You know what I mean? And you're not doing what you know you're supposed to do because it's got a certain amount of difficulty and everything else like that. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, it's not a 15-step way to get over and do or whatever. And then this whole thing about easy way is a myth. I think Sasquatch does it the easy way because everybody else that I know that deals with problems, they have significant difficulty getting these problems solved. There's no easy way. There's differences in risk level, so assess your risk tolerance, and then you want to look at your financial, you want to look at your emotional, you want to look at your spiritual, and be aware of these boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm known to just go off under stressful conditions, I probably shouldn't be driving a school bus. That would be ridiculous. But my wife's good under pressure, so she can drive a school bus. She can handle it. She can tolerate the kids. I cannot. For me, driving a school bus, like, even if they're being good, it would still just the noise. Like, it would be like driving in a pickup truck full of guineas. You know, it's just like constant squawking. Anyway, I'm not cut out for that. So the good news course, Jesus died for our sins. So you're looking at this problem. If there's any personal guilt and stuff like that, like lay it at the foot of Jesus. He paid for that, but respect his sacrifice enough to put in the work to not do it no more. Okay, like you owe that. You owe that. Like he died for you, so you don't have to burn in hell. The least you can do is knock it off, right? So just keep it real simple on that deal. Act appropriately. Now, narrow down your list and do the one that makes sense. Make your decision. Make your decision. Now we're at the next step. We have made the decision. I am going to do this. Okay? Now, that's your far goal. Count the steps back to where you're at, act appropriately. Each step on the way back should have some kind of a milestone, depending on how long it is. You know, like, my problem is I'm fat, and I need to lose 65 pounds of fat and gain 22 pounds of muscle. So, I'm guessing this is going to take a year, right? Okay, so to do that, and then, like, you know, I want to, you know, I'm going to have to get an exercise routine. I'm going to have to get on a diet plan and schedule. I'm going to need to, you know, go for checkups, you know, every 90 days. Let's go get a body mass index thing. Let's talk to a coach once a week, whatever is appropriate, right? And I'm going to lose 65 pounds of fat and gain 25 pounds of muscle, right? Because that's my goal. That's what I've decided to do. You know, that's my problem. I'm fat and out of shape. I'm fat and weak, right? So, I got these little steps, you know what I mean? I got my daily and stuff, you know, and I got my macros and everything else like that. And then, you know, I'm operating within the boundaries. You know what I mean? I'm not going to eat a can of green beans for breakfast every day. You know what I mean? And then, like, should I get fresh beans that are frozen versus green? Or should I, like, grow a garden to have my own green beans? You know what I mean? And get into the nuance of this thing. And before you know it, like, this year-long goal has turned into all this other stuff, right? Don't wear yourself out. Don't overwhelm yourself. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, and that's that. After you measure and you master that, go on to the next and on to the next. You keep stacking that, stacking that, stacking that. And, you know, if you go out there and you jog and you go, you know, halfway across the parking lot and, you know, vomit, well, don't run so far tomorrow. You know what I mean? Let's just walk for a while. Let's walk for a while. You know what I mean? I can't make 3 laps around the parking lot before I gotta go, you know, breathe heavy and poop. I probably should just walk instead of running. You know, that makes a lot of sense. You know, you want to make it make sense no matter what you're doing. And keep it simple and just, you know, problem solve. Like right now, my problem is I'm distracted. Now it has started raining, and I'm pretty sure those police are chasing a immigrant because they just ran through there. Now, I'll tell you, the enemy does not want these getting out. There is so much distraction right when the inspiration ends. But I got to take it down. You know what I mean? I got to make note. You know, that's why I got my setup going where I am hands-free and alert. But I'm not missing the news. All right, Rock Hill, go get them. I want to say something fancy. I need something that an outro. I need an outro. Maybe I need some music. I need some music. That's what we do. Put down in the comments what I should do at the end of these things. All right, Rock Hill, go get them.